Hello and welcome to this review of John Barr Reserve Blended Scotch Whiskey. Okay, there's also a John Barr Finest red label, but I've not seen it anywhere. I rarely see this one anywhere. Actually, I bought this one at Matherne's. It was $15.65, which is cheap because I looked it up on Total Wine and More yesterday and it was $23. So some people say this came out in the 1970s, but I've never seen anything definitive on that. The cap says John Barr and Company, 1881, Glasgow, Scotland. Whyte Mackay is the company that imports it and owns it. And it's saying named for one of the great whiskey men of modern history, John Barr Reserve Blend marries single malt and grain whiskies from the Speyside and Highland regions. So that's where Speyside and Highland. This harmonious blend is smooth, elegant, and refined, like its namesake, and who introduced the world to a richer style of Scotch whiskey. It's a tradition moved forward. So I will watch the video reviews for this. They updated the label, I believe, the last few years. So that's what it's saying, since 1881. So Glasgow, Scotland, 40% alcohol. Don't know the age. There's no age statement. It's at least 3 years old. Some people say it's made to compete with Johnnie Walker Black Label. This I don't know. But that's all I can say about it. I'll watch the video reviews. I'll read the written reviews on Proof 66 and distiller.com. And that's about all I can do with it. Little drip there. Wipe that up later. Alright. So, appearance-wise, it's typical amber, not copper, not gold, but amber. Tan, I guess you call it, type thing. I like the squared off bottle, similar to Johnnie Walker, right? So let's remember, the typical price is about $23. $21, $22, $23. I got it for a really good deal. And no one around here sells this, okay? They were getting rid of it, and Walmart doesn't have it here. Winn-Dixie, Matherne's, I don't know of anyone who has it. Total Wine out there in the New Orleans area, and I'm sure some other stores have it. All right, but it's not popular. No one ever talks about it. It's not common really around here. Now, where you live, it might be a big seller. But I'm not hearing a lot of chatter about it. It's not really making... Okay, there's the drips. Kind of wide-spaced alcohol eggs, like the fence post, but no fence boards. Time for the aroma test. Some peat and smoke. Reminds me a little bit of 100 Pipers, which I know is aged 3 years. Well, there is a 12-year of that, but I've never seen that. Nice doughy single malt. Now, if you're looking for a real strong smoky product, this isn't going to be it. It's not made to be that way, but there is some good peaty smoke on here. I'll say that for sure. Inhale too much. Kind of strong there. I was thinking before I opened it that it was going to be a pretty strong cereal grain, like the grain whiskeys, and then just a faint bit of doughy single malt. But it seems to be the opposite. More single malt and less grain. Be curious how this does in the taste challenges. A lot of times I'll do a high score, and on its own merits it seems really nice, but when I put the whiskey into a taste challenge or a rum, whatever, things start to break down. I'll be curious how this is going to perform. And if you've ever had John Barr Reserve Blend, let me know. I'd be curious, of course, to see what the viewers think about it. So, Nice. Right up there with the, I guess, the Johnny Walker Red, the 100 Pipers, those 3-year aged products. I'm not going to say it's, well, the Chivas Regal 12 was sort of bland to me, but the this is not up to the Buchanan's 12-year level. No, nothing like that. Of course, that's about 35 bucks, $35 for one bottle. All right, so Aroma is very nice. It looks pretty. Whether it has coloring added, no caramel color, I don't know. Perhaps. But it's still excellent looking. It smells nice. I'd be in the excellent range on Aroma. But the most important thing is the taste test. Thank you. Let's go with that. All right. Picking up a lot more of the sharper, sort of rough edge grain whiskey here, grain alcohol, grain spirits. Like I always, or often say, I don't always say it, but oftentimes say it reminds me of Cheerios, which I know that's oats, but these are not using oats. I don't believe they're using corn. You could use any grain though for grain alcohol. But then there's a background of doughy malt whiskey. Probably like 60-40, 60% of that sharp cereal grain, and then it's cleaned up by the doughy breadiness. Oh, what about peat and smoke? Didn't remark on that, but I guess I didn't pick much of that up. There is a little, there is some peat. Smoke, a little bit. I would say less than 100 Pipers though. 100 Pipers, to me, is remarkable for the unusually pronounced smokiness with it. That's a Chivas Brothers product. This is sort of reminding me of a much cheaper product, but not as good as this. But it's sort of reminding me of Inverhouse Green Plaid from Inverhouse Distillery, handled by Sazerac in the USA. But I suppose Inverhouse has a bit more sharper, harsher grain whiskey note. But we will only know by virtue of doing taste challenges. So I intend to do blind taste tests against all the other blended Scotch whiskies I have in possession right now. Probably going to start off with Johnny Walker Red. Then I'll do Chivas 12, the Buchanan's 12, and then I'll do some cheap. I'll do the. I can't remember it. It's in the big bottle. Yeah, King Robert II, 3-year age. Pretty good product. Then I'll do some cheaper ones like Highland Mist. Piper Dean. And then 100 Pipers. I think 100 Pipers might beat this. But anyway, I'll go through the whole gamut. I'll do them all. And then, and that'll be it. So, Les Islay Bon Temps Relais. The score is pretty good, actually. I would go with an 88 B+, a B+. It's a very good product. I don't know about excellent. $15.65 for the bottle. That's a great deal for something like this. Oh yeah, I gotta go against the Grants. Oh yeah, I think this is way better than Grants. The problem with Grants, Triple Wood, Family Reserve, formerly Family Reserve, it's just too much harsh grain whiskey in it. And I couldn't get around it. I just kept sampling it, and in the blind taste test every time, well, most every time, I said, that's the Grants, and it was. So think about that for a minute. And Dewar's was kind of that way too. The white label Dewar's, that kind of harsh grain whiskey taste. I need to get some Dewar's white label and Dewar's 12. I don't need to get it. I just want to get it. You know what I mean? So Les Islay Bon Temps Relais, a very good blended Scotch whiskey from at some time in history. The label said the cap says 1881. Okay, we'll play along, and we're going to end this review by saying, y'all come on down to southeastern Louisiana.